What's up guys, it's Wolf from the Quarantine, and today I have an early look video game for you by the name of Mortido from Corner Studios. Now, I'm going to mention right out of the gates, Corner Studios contacted me a little while back and asked if I would be interested in reviewing Mortido. And after seeing a lot of the concept art and hearing about the game, I happily accepted. It looked pretty cool. But when I started playing the game and I went to their download page and downloaded everything, I realized it's only an alpha. It's 0.8 point something, I think is what it was. So I started to think that I don't really feel that it's fair to review a game that's in alpha stage, that's actively being worked on. So instead of doing a review, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do an early look and just kind of talk about the game. Alright, what is Mortido? Well, Mortido is an action-adventure game, from what I can gather from the demo, where you are a recently deceased soul that is now on their adventure and journey to the afterlife, whatever that entails. So the demo is very small. Again, you're going to be able to download this in the description if you'd like. And the demo area is very small and you could beat it in about 20 minutes, give or take. So when you first boot up the game, you're going to wind up encountering or talking to this weird tree stone woman that talks some weird cryptic nonsense that I have no idea what she's on about, that I'm assuming has something to do with the overall story arc. It's pretty cool. The voice acting isn't the greatest, but it's still pretty cool. The animations are alright. And then you're just kind of dropped into this area with absolutely no direction, which might be what they're going for, or it might just be because it's alpha and figure it out. But other than that, when you boot up the game, the visuals are, in my opinion, pretty good. They're dated. They're like Vampire the Masquerade meets, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines meets American McGee's Alice kind of visuals, which in my opinion isn't bad, it's just dated. So go in knowing that. They still do a pretty good job at portraying what they're trying to portray and making this, building the environment, this immersive, like really dark, everything's not quite right kind of world. So with the game, you're gonna try to find an object, put it into a different object, and then fight a bunch of guys and leave. And that's all the demo is. So there's not a whole lot of wandering around, there's not a lot of exploring because it's a very small demo. So you're going to encounter this one jerk, maybe. I mean, if you look for him, you're going to find a guy that you're going to play a game with. The guy's a jerk. Then there's a couple other areas that says that the adventure is not completed or something like that. You can't progress on. And there's a bunch of invisible walls and whole 9 yards. So I'm assuming, again, that's all because it's alpha. And you're going to find a little emblem tablet thing that's about like this big that you're going to find. And then you have no idea what to do with it. So you're going to kind of look around a little bit more. And then you're going to find a statue. And you put it in the statue. It turns around and then nothing happens. And you're like, alright, now what? And then you wander around a little bit more, you get a little cutscene that now tells you, oh, well, now you can attack people with this, like, sunblade. Okay, whatever. Doesn't really explain why, or it kind of explains why, but doesn't at the same time, like, why you're having to kill all these things and why they're attacking you, and whole 9 yards. But again, the game is in alpha, so don't expect anything super elaborate. It's just, here, try out the game, tell us what you think, kind of thing. And then you're going to go and you're going to fight a whole bunch of dudes, like a ton of guys. And every time you kill one, another one spawns. And every time you kill one, another one spawns, and so on and so forth. And you're going to do this until you've killed so many of them, and you get a little cutscene, and then you kill them all, they all die, and then you walk through the gate. And that's all it is. It takes like 20 minutes to beat. It's pretty simple. So the controls could be a lot better. The audio there's not a lot with the audio at all. Like, the ambient noise is alright, but other than ambient noise, there's not much to the sound at all. But again, it sounds like I'm really ragging on the game, and I'm not. I actually enjoyed my time with Mortido, and I definitely am looking forward to what it could be. The game has a ton of potential, and it could be a really cool game if the developers do it properly. Now, with that said, the game could also fall apart and not be that great if they don't stick with what they're doing, to be honest. they keep doing what they're doing, the game's gonna be really cool. It reminds me, that's what I was thinking earlier today, it reminds me of the old Soul Reaver games, with actually probably roughly same graphics, maybe a little better visuals, but it reminds me of the old Soul Reaver games, like when he dies and he goes to the underworld or whatnot, he's trying to get out. It kind of has that kind of feel to it. Your character also has this mask, and again, I know this is all over the place. This is the second time I've done this format, so bear with me. You also get this mask, and the more bloody and beat up the mask gets, the less your health is. So you don't actually have a health bar. You have this mask. And you can look into these mirrors, which then submit your reflection back and heals you or something. It kind of does this weird explanation on how the mirrors heal you and whole 9 yards. So I mean, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of really neat concepts with the game, but the combat's definitely going to need to get better. The audio is definitely going to need to be better, which I'm sure they're going to fix all this. Again, the game is in alpha, so you got to cut it some slack. But they wanted my feedback, so I'm going to give them the feedback. You know, the combat feels very clunky, kind of boring. There's no combo system, there's no nothing. It's smash attack a couple times, dodge. Smash attack a few times, dodge. And rinse and repeat. That's all you do with combat. I hope they add a lot of exploration to it, because with what you see with the world could be, or the game could be outstanding if they really instill that sense of exploration in this awesome world, and then punish the players for maybe exploring in areas that maybe you didn't want them to explore in, or maybe punish them so they get encouraged to explore, but make sure they shouldn't, that if they go to the wrong place, they're going to get burned, kind of thing. I love that in all kinds of games, and this game would be no different. You're in this surreal afterlife, and you literally have a sandbox to work with because it's the unknown. So work with it, guys. Use that to your advantage and let the people explore it, but again, make sure you let them know that they're not in control. That's the key here. So other than that, I definitely like Mortido. I'm definitely going to be tracking its progress. If the designers are watching this, definitely email me with updates in case I don't have time or anything to keep up with them as well. Definitely interested in checking out this as time goes on. A little bit later down the road, I'm not going to do it for each little edition that comes out, but later on down the road, after maybe once it hits beta, I might download it again, I'll play it, put it up another little video like this. And then once it's fully released, I will go ahead and do a full-fledged review on the game. Anyways, that is my first look at Mortido. Anyways, if you could check me out on Patreon, I have it up here. And any little bit helps. I also have a link down in the description. If you want to check out my Twitch as well, I will also have that down here. I'm hoping to start streaming more video games. I've said that, and I was streaming there for a little while. I also have a Twitter that I may or may not actually use down there. That way you can contact me and I can interact with you guys. That would be pretty cool. Anyways, give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.